Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." So God has blessed both Nat and I throughout the year, and also throughout our lives. So from the wedding coming together, to Nat getting a full-time position, we have really seen God work within our lives. So I'm here today to kind of give you, to share about how I have seen God work in my life not too long ago. So to give you some background, I'm a registered dietitian, and I work currently casual for Alberta Health Services. So I get to work with patients who don't have kidneys, so people who can't pee, which is something that's a little surprising for some people. People who are morbidly obese, and so people not just fat, but very very sick, and also of course people who have diabetes. I've always enjoyed my line of work, and I really enjoy working with patients because I get to develop relationships with them. But one thing that's always kind of bugged me about my position is that because I'm casual, I move from place to place. So I don't really get to really build a lot of solid ground, and I don't get to grow roots within my position. So that's something I was kind of searching for. I also recently took on a position in long-term care in the Duke. So that's a two days a week kind of position, and seniors is not really the area that I was really excited about, because you don't really get to talk to most of your patients, and it's a little bit slower paced. But times are desperate. Like I was going months without work, and so I saw this position and I just jumped on it. But even throughout that time, I prayed to God just to make sure that this is something that He wanted me to do, right? Because the last thing I want to do is waste my time on something that God doesn't want me to do. But I really felt a push for it, so I took the position, and luckily enough, I was fortunate to get it. So around this time, like I mentioned before, Natalie got a position within Nestle Health Sciences, and she just sells chocolate all day. And there's Nestle, there's two divisions, right? So there's the retail side, so you get your chocolates, which she brings home from time to time. But you also get the health sciences part. So you get the formulas for babies, formulas for some of our patients. With this position, with her position, she knew a dietitian at St. Joe's Long-Term Care. And St. Joe's Long-Term Care is a really nice facility, but it's around Heritage Mall area. And it's one of the few positions that are actually full-time. And so the dietitian there, her name is Jess, and actually it was funny because she was my TA in school. So we kind of knew each other, but one day Nat called me and was like, yeah, Jess's position is up, and would you be willing to kind of consider it? And it took me some time because I didn't really feel that long-term care was my area, but I still called Jess anyways, and I just had a few minutes to talk with her and just kind of get an idea of what the position's like. And I think I was really drawn in because it was full-time, so there's some stability, but also because you really develop relationships with your residents, and you can really develop roots there, and you can really, when I was talking to Jess, you can really tell that she really loved your position. So yeah, when her position came up, her manager posted it. It was really kind of funny how she posted it, but she posted it as a casual position, so that hopefully when the person is accepted for that position, they would work with Jess and then transition onto a mat leave position whenever she left. And when I applied for it, it was really kind of interesting because the position required someone to have experience in kidneys, and experience in long-term care. And if you kind of looked at, if you remember what I said earlier, like I had experience in both of those things. And I thought it was kind of neat how it kind of gelled into this one position. So I applied, and a week later, received a call from the manager, Janet, asking for an interview. And this is where I really saw God working, and I'll kind of use dates to help illustrate my point. And I apologize if I'm going back and forth, but hopefully this makes sense. So rewinding a bit, I was scheduled to work a half a shift on December the 5th with my Alberta Health Services position. Now half shifts are really rare, and they don't really make sense because you need the whole day to like kind of evaluate who you're going to see. But money is money, right? So I was like, okay, let's do it anyways. I'll make it work. The day before I was supposed to take that half shift, I received a call from my manager and saying that, hey, this is canceled. I guess we just kind of overlooked it and we didn't really think too much about it. So don't worry about it. You won't be seeing patients that day. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Later that afternoon, I received a call from Janet, so the St. Joe's manager, asking if I can have an interview rather quickly. So I gave her some date options, including the now open December 5th afternoon. And ironically enough, like that day worked the best for her. The interview went well. I was able to answer all the questions, and at the end of the interview, she told me that because of my experience in kidneys, because of my experience with long-term care people, I was the only one that they were considering. So I felt really blessed when I heard that. The next day came. Okay, I was working in Leduc, and I actually had to ask Jess a question. So Jess is a dietitian from St. Joe's, and at first I was really hesitant to do so, but I really felt a push to just email. So I finally emailed my question, and within minutes I got a response back from Jess saying, Dave, call me back right away. And so I picked up the phone, I called her, and basically she said, Dave, I'm on sick leave immediately, I can't work anymore, and if you're the lucky person that they hire, then you're going to be on your own for a little bit. And so December 7th, the day after, came, and Janet offered me the position. So as complex as the story and background is, if you really need to know a Coles Notes version, this is it. So if I was never a dietitian that specialized in kidneys, if I was never a dietitian that specialized in old people, if Nat never knew Jesus, or if Nat never knew Jess through her new job, if that Wednesday afternoon shift was not canceled, if the interview was not on Wednesday afternoon, if I missed one day, right, Jess would have been gone sick. And I may not, be able to tell the story. So all these coincidences, at least in my eyes, were God's way of telling me that He has something wonderful planned for me. And all I need to do is really just let go and just give Him the steering wheel. So now I'm saying that, what does that mean for you guys? Will God do the exact same for you? Maybe. I can never, whenever I tell this story, I can never tell in a way that will give it justice, because only really I will understand what has happened, right? I can do my best to give you guys a glimpse, but really, like, the feeling I get, I can never really comprehend it, or I can never really share that or make you understand as much as I feel it in my heart. So, yeah, it's funny how everything was tied in so ironically and so perfectly. I saw God work, and He will work in your life if you just let Him. And more importantly, He'll work in a way that you can fully appreciate with Him. And that's a really cool thing. So just to kind of recap, Jeremiah 29:11 says, For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Thanks, guys.